What's up? Welcome to Trackletics Live, the ultimate show for all things track and field. Join us as we dive deep into the sport, interviewing track and field athletes, coaches, nutrition specialists, and more. Get ready to hear some dope conversations and gain exclusive insight into what it takes to become a top performer in the sport. Whether you're a seasoned track and field athlete or just starting off, this is the show for you. So make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Let's get into the show. Here we go, everyone. Let's welcome Jada.
Hi. Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you? How are you feeling today?
I'm doing pretty good. I just finished my practice, so I get to chill for a little bit.
What'd you do for practice today?
Since I'm preparing for a meet, I had a 300 and then a broken 300 in my spikes at like 99%.
Yeah, them 300s took me out today. That's what I had.
Yeah?
I don't like them 300s. Definitely had to walk off the track and throw up.
Yeah.
Passed out as soon as I got home. Those 300s are no joke. So
Yeah.
much respect for you for killing that workout. How are you feeling with this meet coming? We got Pan Am Games.
Yes, I feel very excited. This is my first time actually out the country, so I'm super
Wow.
excited.
First
And my
time
first time in the
out of the
USA.
country. And
Yeah.
you get to do it chasing your passion, chasing your dreams with track and field. That's amazing.
hmm Yeah, it's the first
Hopefully,
time repping, USA, so
yep. Hopefully it's not
definitely
the last.
excited.
Hopefully you
Yeah,
get many more
hopefully.
travels from the sport.
Yeah.
But before we get into the Pan Am Games and how everything is coming about for you and how you made it to that,
hmm
let's take it all the way back, all the way back. I want to hear how you started running track. What is your track story? How did you get into track and field?
Yeah, so I ran track for a month in like second grade, and I really loved it. But my family is a military family, so we kind of moved around a lot, so I didn't really get to stick with it. And I'm 5'10", so I've always been a really tall person. So obviously, they see a tall kid, they're like basketball. So I played basketball for a very long time, and I hated it. But I'm tall, so I kind of stuck with it. And when I was a junior in high school, I tried out for the team, and that's actually a super funny story because I was in between a move, so I didn't have the right running shoes. So I really wanted to try out. So the only shoes I had were Converse. So I put my Converse on, and I went down there, and they're looking at me like, what is this girl doing?
Doing this in Converse.
Converse is crazy. And so we had like a time trial, so we did 200s, 400s, and I ran my 200, my 400, and it was like decent. And they were like, wait, so the volunteer coach comes up to me. He's like, you have a lot of potential, but you can't wear those shoes. And I was like, yeah, like I'm so sorry. Like these are the only shoes I have right now because all the boxes are like packed up. And so that's kind of how I got started. I started my junior year, and I kind of stuck with it. And getting into college, it was kind of a crazier story because in high school, I kind of didn't take it serious. I was like there to hang out with my friends, and I would do like weird events like shot put and like just random things. I did high jump, and I started clicking with the 400. It started to come like easier. No one really wanted to do it. No one ever wants to do the 400, but it was an event that I was like pretty decent at. My first 400 time was actually like, I think I want to say like a 109. So it wasn't crazy. Like I wasn't like a superstar off the rip. So I really had to work hard for that. But yeah, I kind of just stuck with it. It was an event that no one liked to do where I was from. So it was like I kind of got to shine a little bit because no one liked to do it. So everyone wanted to do the 1 and the 2. And so I kind of stuck with the 400. And they always say like no one ever picks the 400 picks you. And so that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, because that 400 is no joke. It is not easy.
Yeah.
It's all gas, no brakes for a whole lap around the track.
Mm-hmm.
You will feel that lactic acid build up. You might hit the wall. The
Yeah.
monkey might jump on your back, as they say. So
Yeah.
yeah, nobody really picks the 400. It has to pick you,
Yeah.
And a lot of the 400-meter runners that I know, their coaches have told them, hey, I think this is the event you need to go to.
Yep,
I haven't
exactly.
met anybody that just stepped on the track, hopped in the 4, and was good from the jump.
Hmm.
That's usually not how it goes for the 4, because that's no joke. That is a test of will, faith. That 400
Exactly.
will take you there. But go back to high school.
Hmm.
So what was that experience like? You said you joined because it was more like fun. You were with friends. You were trying things. Tried shot put, hide, like none of the events that go together. What was that experience like though?
Um, so I came from a place where they didn't really take track seriously. And so for me, being decent was really good. And so I kind of stuck in that place of like, okay, I'm decent and everyone's treating me like I'm fantastic, you know. And I would get to meets really scared because, like the bigger meets, because I'm like, okay, these people, you know, they're training for this, like this is their life. And it's different when you come from a place where everything is like fun and you get to a meet and everyone's serious. And so um, I want to say, like, towards my junior, senior year, I started to get like more anxiety of like, okay, I need to, you know, start taking this more serious because no one else is taking this serious, but when we get to meets, I don't want to get last place. And so it was fun for a bit, but then it got to a point where it's like, if I want to do better, I need to, you know, start being more comfortable being alone at practice in the front if no one else is going to work. Um, so that's definitely an experience that I had to do, where it's just like you have to be comfortable pushing yourself if no one else is going to push you.
Right. Yeah, and I completely understand that. I call that the curse of the decent, right?
Mm-hmm.
In high school, I had that same experience. I actually ran the 4, and I had a whole year where I was undefeated, and I thought, hey, I'm pretty fast.
Yeah.
Then I went to a track meet out in LA, and I'm racing some real dogs, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh snap, this is a whole different game.
Mm-hmm.
From the sound of the gun, they got out and broke the stagger on me.
Exactly.
So I had to go back to practice and really like ask myself, is this something that I really want to do? Do I really see myself going far in this? Do I really want to give the effort? Do I really want to challenge myself?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, what did it take for you to really, I don't know, was it isolation? Was it really trying to lock in and really dedicate yourself to get to where you are now? Because you're no longer just kind of decent, right? We're heading off to the Pan Am Games.
Mm-hmm.
That's not decent. That's
Yeah.
some of the top at your age level. So how did you go from decent in high school to really locking in and focus to now we're headed off to the Pan Am Games?
Mm-hmm. So that's actually a long story. I wasn't really recruited out of high school, and so Um, I went to college. I didn't sign to any school. I went as a regular student to NC State, and it was a long story, but I walked onto their team um, for high jump. And after a while, they were like, "Oh, we need someone, you know, to run the 4x4, like just throw her in it type of thing." Like I hadn't told anyone that I ran the 400 in high school. And when I ran that split, I had the fastest split on that relay. And they were like, wait a second. Like, they looked up my mile split and was like, oh, like you ran the 4. And I stuck with the 4. And I still hadn't really taken it seriously until I want to say my junior year of college. And I had quit the team and I came back and I practiced for like 2 months and then it was conference, like outdoor conference. And I missed finals by point zero, like something. And I was like, if I would have trained and taken this seriously, I would have made it to finals. And I feel like that realization really like awoke in me of like, I can practice for 2 months and almost make finals. So if I practice for a whole year and I take it seriously, like this could be something that I could be really good at. So that next year, I really took it very seriously, and you know, I showed up every day and I did exactly what needed to do in the weight room, in the training room, at practice. Like if he gave me a time at practice, I would try to go above the time if I knew I could make it throughout the whole workout. And I would try to hit exactly the times if not. And that season ended up being the best season I had thus far. And I placed second place at the ACC championship. And so, being on the podium and like, having that medal and like, I was like, oh my God, like if I really take this seriously, like I can be good at it. And so that experience of like, it's fun, but it's also hard work. And it's like you get to the collegiate level where everyone's taking it serious. If you're not taking it serious, it's like you're going to start falling behind. And so just that humbling experience of like, like second place, like almost being at the top or almost making a final or like regionals, almost making it to nationals, like those almost experience kind of helped me kind of revigorate like my confidence, like, okay, if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm making small strides every single time.
Yeah, true. That is a way to measure your progress. Ron, I'm getting closer and closer, but also just falling short can help inspire you to want to do more to actually make that, right? And you mentioned how you stopped training for a little bit, but before I ask about that, I need to ask about your freshman experience because you didn't start at NCAT, right?
No.
So from graduating high school, what was that experience like? Like you said, you weren't recruited. So where did you go your freshman year? What was that experience like? And why did you transfer to NCAT?
Yes, so I went to NC State because of the engineering program. It has a really good engineering program, and that's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And so I went just as a regular student, and that year they were actually recruiting my friend from high school to be in the team for the next year. And she was like, hey, like come see me. I'm at the student center. I went to the student center, and then one of the coaches were like, oh, you look really familiar. Like, where do I know you from? And I was like, oh, like I ran at New Balance Nationals a couple months ago. And we had just kept in contact for that. And I joined the team for high jump because he was the jump coach. And me and high jump, we just weren't clicking. And so once I started running that relay, they were kind of splitting my time between high jump and, running. And eventually I kind of just switched over to running. And so my freshman year experience was it just felt so new, and it felt nice to be on a team knowing that I wasn't really recruited out of high school. I got like one offer out of high school, and it just felt nice to be on a team. I felt like I had imposter syndrome at first because I was like, okay, all these people, they have scholarships and stuff, and I felt like out of place. But then once I started, getting into the groove of things, it was like I was at the front of the workouts. I was really working hard, and I was keeping up with, people older than me. So it really kind of boosted my confidence from there. And to skip forward to why I left NC State is because I was the only 400 runner there. And so it gets to a point where if I wanted to progress, I kind of wanted to be a part of a team, because like if you're struggling through a workout, having someone right next to you, either behind you, in front of you, you want to stay with them, and it kind of helps you push past barriers that you can't go by yourself. And so after that year, I had a really good year. I ran a PR 52, and I was just looking to be somewhere else. But I had decided to stay because I was like, my coach, Alan Johnson, he's a fantastic coach. Like, he's got me like so far, and I didn't want to leave a coach that I had built a good relationship with that had helped me progress so much. And then fast forward a few months, he actually left because he got an offer at A&T, and I was like, okay, that's perfect, because I had wanted to leave, and I wanted to keep my coach, and so I kind of just went along with him when he left.
Wow. I completely understand that, because changing coaches, that literally can change your whole trajectory, your whole track experience.
Yeah.
especially since you've knocked down some barriers and you've been able to make good progress with that coach.
Hmm.
Why not go with him and continue on and see, how far you can go?
Yeah.
But with that being said, what are your goals? What are you training for? What are you competing for? What are your track dreams, I should say?
Yeah. So I I want to say I'm more of a go with the flow, kind of see what opportunities are available to me. So right now, I leave for the Pan Am Games this week, and so my goals for that, obviously come home with the gold.
Yes.
Uh, I'll be running the 4x4, the mixed relay, and so helping my teammates, you know, get the gold. After that, we're kind of gonna go back into the lab and keep training. And hopefully, my goal for this year, it's the Olympic year coming up. So my goal is to, you know, get to a comfortable spot where I can be in a relay, for the Olympics as well. And, put that USA back on, run for the Olympics. That's everyone's dream. So my goals right now are kind of just a slow climb, Pan Am Games relay, Olympic relay, eventually get up there to, maybe running the 400 open at like Worlds or the Olympics. And so I've been trying to make progress towards that. And I've been doing better each year, surprising myself, surprising the people around me. And so I don't think that it's unattainable. I think it's just see where it goes right now.
Right. It's definitely not unattainable. You've been making some great progress for sure. And you made
Mhm.
the Pan Am Games. So you're getting a little tast of it. Got
Yeah.
your first USA jersey. How does that
Hmm.
feel? What was it like putting on that USA jersey? I seen your photo
Yeah.
shoot. So what was that experience like? How did that feel?
So at first I knew, I was excited and I knew, but it wasn't until I put the jersey on that I was like, or the uniform on, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm actually repping Team USA. Like that's honestly a dream that I didn't know that I had even wanted. Because at first, I said that it was all like fun and games, but then like once I started taking it serious, it's like I'm wearing the USA uniform. Like
Right.
it was so surreal that it didn't feel like this is really happening.
Nah, it's
And
real.
so,
It's happening.
yeah,
You
so
got
it's
it.
like, and it feels so surreal, but I feel like it's gonna feel even more crazy once I get down there and into that environment where I'm like, oh my God, like I'm actually running for Team USA. So it's a very exciting experience knowing that like I didn't take it seriously to begin with, and I was not recruited, and I was a walk on all the way to like repping Team USA.
Wow. Yeah, that's an inspirational story for sure. Look how far you've come from walking on to heading to the Pan Am Games. Next year we
Mhm.
got the Olympics,
Yeah.
so hopefully we get to see you in that USA uniform again for sure.
Yes.
But one last question that I like to ask everybody:
Hmm.
if you can go back and talk to yourself as a kid, or even talk to a kid now, somebody that follows you, what is one piece of advice and words of wisdom that you wish you could have gave yourself, or something that you would, give a youth now?
Hmm. I would say to a kid or to my previous self, like, don't compare yourself to other people and kind of take the time that you need because I feel like we get so caught up in the people who were so great from the start and are super great now, and that's very like inspirational, but I feel like not everyone's story is like that. And so when you're very consistent and you work hard every single day, um, you are able to achieve success as well, even if it didn't start out that way. And so it really turns into just believing in your, that sounds so cliche, but really just believing in yourself and just not comparing your story to anyone else's and just keep working on you and not comparing yourself to anyone else and kind of just trying to beat your own time after time. And you'll be surprised at the opportunities that are available to you.
I love that. It's you versus you. Don't compare
Mm-hmm.
yourself to nobody else. You don't know
Mm-hmm.
how far they are or where they are in their journey. Stay in your own lane. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. But thank you for sitting down, having this quick conversation with me,
Thank
sharing
you.
more about your track and field story. I'm excited to see you run in Pan Am, and hopefully you bring back that gold.
Hopefully too.
Right, too, definitely. And I'm wishing you the best of luck this coming season. Definitely want to see you on the Olympic stage as well.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This has been a nice chat.
Of course, my pleasure. Well, that is it for us here on Trackletics Live. See ya.
Bye.